Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Okay, board to reconvene. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here. Okay, good morning and welcome.
Supervisor Perez.
Oops.
One more.
Still here.
Sorry.
Like it or not.
I am getting ahead of myself. My apologies. Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, 9 a.m. meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We'll begin today's meeting with the flag salute led by Kevin Oliver. And following the Pledge of Allegiance, please remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whatever you prefer.
Good morning, everybody. If you're former military or current military, you may also salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Please be seated. Okay, at this time, we're going to call on Nick Cullen, our Director of Animal Services, to introduce our Pet of the Week. His name is Bert. Thanks, Nick. Here you go.
Good morning. Nick Cullen, Director of Kern County Animal Services, Chairman Flores, members of the board. I brought with me Bert. Bert is about a 1-year-old Chihuahua, probably a long-haired Chihuahua mix. He's only been with us for about 4 or 5 days. He's a sweet boy. He's a puppy. He's shedding like no one's business. But he needs a home, and he's available for adoption tomorrow morning. I know, but at the Kern County Animal Shelter.
Thank you. See you, Bert. Okay, at this time, we'll begin by considering the consent agenda. Agendas are located at the tables near the doors for anyone wishing to follow along. All items listed with the CA above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda and will be considered in its listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session items. I will read the consent agenda items starting right now. On page 2, items 1, 2, and 7 through 12. On page 3, items 13 through 16, and item 19. On page 4, items 20 through 26. On page 5, items 27 through 33. Page 6, items 34 through 40. Page 7, items 41 through 47. Page 8, items 48 through 54. And on page 9, items 55 through 60. And that concludes the consent items. Does anyone, member of the public, wish to pull any item, discuss any item that's on the consent agenda before we go to a vote? Okay, seeing none, I'll turn it back to the board.
Motion on consent.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Members, cast your vote.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, that brings us to item 3 under resolutions and proclamations. First item is to proclaim April 2023 as Donate Life Awareness Month in Kern County, and Supervisor Couch will be making the presentation.
Motion on the proclamation.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Members, cast your vote.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Members, board members, and Mr. Chairman, it's supposed to go the other way around, isn't it? Mr. Chairman and board members, thank you for the opportunity to do this. I did it I think I've done it several years in a row now, mostly because I have known Lori Malkin for more years than probably either of us would like to admit to. She couldn't be here today. I have two proclamations. One is to donate life, and one is to JJ's Legacy. JJ's Legacy, both of them are involved in promoting organ donation. You know, the little pink dot that you get on your license. JJ's Legacy is a local effort, and it came about because Lori's son was lost in a tragic traffic accident, and the family had never really had any conversations or thoughts about organ donation, but they were asked that question at maybe the worst time in their lives, and they decided to go ahead and do that. And I think that was well over 10 years ago. How long ago was that? Okay. And so Lori decided to keep JJ's Legacy alive by starting JJ's Legacy, and she has events throughout the year, one or two. I know she has a golf tournament. Sure. And I'm a terrible golfer, but it's one of the best golf tournaments I've ever seen. It's really well run, and it's a fun event. But it's a great cause, and she started JJ's Legacy and has done all this work just to keep her, but to keep her son's memory alive and to do something good out of something really terrible. So I have two proclamations. I'm going to present one to Jessica Banuelos, who's with Donate Life, right? One Legacy. One Legacy, and I have one for Charles Pruitt, and he's accepting for Lori Malkin today. By the way, I called you Charles. Chuck Pruitt. This is his 3,167th day living with a new liver. So. And interestingly, the donor also passed away, and the family had not made arrangements or had not, didn't have the pink dot, but they also were asked that same question at a horrible time in their life, and they chose to do that. And Charles is here today because of that. So let me read these, and I'll present them and let them say whatever they would like to. The Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed April 23rd as Donate Life Awareness Month in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes. It's signed by our Honorable Chair, Jeff Flores, and it's dated today, April 18th, 2023. And I have one for Jessica and one for Chuck, representing both of those entities. So, ladies first, probably.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being able to proclaim April National Donate Life Month. We're truly gracious for that. So I'm honored to be here today on behalf of One Legacy, and thank you for supporting our mission, which is to continue saving and healing lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation, comfort the families that we serve, and hopefully inspire our communities to donate life. We talk about the Donate Life California Donor Registry and talking to our families about the importance of organ, eye, and tissue donation and sharing your wishes in a timely manner with your families. One Legacy is our federally designated organ procurement organization that oversees the greater Los Angeles area, but we are very proud to partner with Kern County. Today, in 2023, over 104,000 individuals are currently waiting for a life-saving gift. In California alone, we make up 20% of that waiting list. with about 18,000 people or more currently waiting for a life-saving transplant in California. With that being said, here in our little town of Kern County, in 2022, we saved 76 lives. We healed over 4,000 lives with tissue donation and restored eyesight in over 50 individuals in Kern County. In 2023, we are on track to exceed that milestone with 46 lives saved year to date in 2023 alone. It is truly a testament, thank you. It is truly a testament not just to our donors, the donor families, and them saying yes in the worst moment of their lives, but it's truly a testament to the work from our hospital partners, our nurses, our directors, our respiratory therapists, our OR scrub nurses, our OR circulators, chaplain care services, and anyone who is involved in the donation process. So on behalf of myself and One Legacy, we are truly honored to serve Kern County, and for myself, it is truly an honor to serve my hometown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is not only a privilege, but a pleasure to be alive, to be here to speak to you guys today. My life really should have ended in August of 2014, but through miracles and the grace of God, I go on, and I'm here to speak to you guys today because of that. As Supervisor Couch mentioned, my donor was not a registered donor. He didn't have the pink dot. His parents had to make that decision to donate his organs when they were approached by One Legacy after the medical professionals had done everything they possibly could to save his life. I'm grateful every day that they said yes. In fact, the first thoughts that I have every morning when I wake up is gratitude for having another day, and for the family that said yes when they didn't have to. They were touched enough by wanting to help other people that, and they thought that that would be the legacy for their son, because from what I've known of him, he was a peacemaker and someone that always tried to do the best about people. So because of them, I and 3 other people have life today, and over 100 people have been helped with his tissues that were also donated, his corneas, his tendons and bone and other tissue. And that's the miracle that's never really talked much about, is how many people's lives are actually saved or enhanced by tissue donation also. And I'm just appreciative of the support Kern County has shown over the years for Donate Life. And One Legacy, and JJ's Legacy, JJ's Legacy helps out in the local transplant community by providing financial and food support to people. They help with counseling. They help people that are both on the waiting list and people that have received transplants. Their fundraisers are really kind of 3 each year. They have the golf tournament and the gala that are coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Excuse me. And then in the autumn, around November, they have a less formal event called Grillin' and Brewin', where they serve some world-class barbecue and have fantastic entertainment, usually by the Kelly twins. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them or not, but that is a great time in the fall, so you guys should make a point of attending those too. Thank you very much for all you guys do to support Donate Life and organ and tissue transplant, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Okay, before we move on to item 4, I noticed that Supervisor Couch punched in. I want to see if he had a few comments to make, I think. Sorry for missing you.
regarding our action just a moment ago? Yes. On consent, we made a few appointments, but one of them we made was a gentleman named Kevin Oliver. I think Kevin is in the audience today. And Kevin was just appointed to the Planning Commission. I want to thank him for his willingness to do that. That's not an easy job, and it's a commitment. But he's familiar with that because he's already been, and I think you are currently, although not for much longer, the president or the chairman of the Civil Service Commission. Correct? And that is also a commitment. So he's familiar with commitment to public service and to the county. I just want to recognize him and thank him. Do you have anything you would like to say today, or we want to give you a moment to do so if you'd like, but it's not a requirement, but I see you walking down here, so welcome. Thank you for your willingness to serve.
Ladies, gentlemen, supervisors, it's been an honor and a pleasure for this board to give me the opportunity to be able to serve our fine county here as you on your Civil Service Commission, and earlier this year as well as the president and chair of that commission. And I look forward to the opportunities to be able to continue to serve this fine county as a planning commissioner and stuff with, and I hope that I can do, I know the gentleman that sat in that chair before, matter of fact, his son is our CEO of our board, our realty board. And if I can fill that, half as well as he did, I think we'll do it well. So again, thank you for the opportunity again to serve, and I hope that I, can help you guys out as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Okay, moving on to item 4. This is an item to proclaim April 22nd, 2023 as Scottish Games and Gathering Day in Kern County, and Supervisor Peters will be making the presentation.
Thank you, Chairman Flores. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, a motion and second. Members, cast your vote.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. It's my honor this morning to be here to proclaim April 22nd, Scottish Games and Gatherings Day in Kern County. I have been going to the Scottish Games since I was a kid. It's an awesome event. If you guys haven't been before, I definitely recommend it. They've got a lot of great food, a lot of great music, if you enjoy bagpipes like I do. They have some really unique events. In fact, there are probably a lot of people in Lake Isabella that wouldn't mind you guys going up and grabbing some logs for the caber toss that are floating out of the lake right now. But this event's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. So I'll go ahead and read this proclamation. The Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, have officially proclaimed April 22nd, 2023 as Scottish Games and Gatherings Day in Kern County. And this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chairman, Jeff Flores. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Bruce.
Thank you, Supervisor Peters and supervisors, and thank you for proclaiming April 22nd as Scottish Games and Gatherings Day here in Kern County. This weekend, as we have for 26 years, we're having our Scottish Games and Gatherings out at the Kern County Fairgrounds. We'll have local bands, Celtic, rock, traditional bands playing out there. Bagpipers, we have some bagpipe bands that are going to be playing. Of course, we'll have the traditional heavy athletics, which probably, like they said, Lake Isabella would like to go have some of those logs removed up there. We'll have vendors, ancestry, and genealogy. So if you're interested in your ancestry and genealogy, come on out. We got some people out there that can help you trace your roots and see if you have any Celtic blood in you. Also, a lot of the questions that are asked is, do you have to be Scottish to either become a member or attend the games? And the answer is no. We like to represent all things Celtic, whether it be Scottish, Irish, Welsh, anything Celtic, or if you have an interest in the Celtic traditions and heritage, come on out, because it's a great family time. It'll be Saturday and Sunday out at the Kern County Fairgrounds, and going to be great weather, and hope to see everybody come out.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, we're moving on to item 5. This is a proclamation to proclaim April 2023 as Fair Housing Month in Kern County, and Supervisor Perez will be making the presentation.
Thank you, Chairman. Motion on proclamation.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Members cast your vote.
Motion is approved. All ayes. Okay, you're the boss. Got it. Is it Michelle Valverde? I love your pink. Honorable Chairman and colleagues, I am so glad to make this presentation before you today. April 2023 is Fair Housing Month in Kern County. In early April of 1968, the Fair Housing Act was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson. This law, which was meant to be a follow-up to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, put an end to racial discrimination in the housing market and finally allowed individuals of all races, religions, and national origins to both purchase and rent homes in America. The enactment of the Federal Fair Housing Act on April 11, 1968, came only after a long and difficult journey. For over a year, Congress was regularly debating the Fair Housing Bill, but failed to garner a strong enough majority for its passage. However, it was with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination on April 4th, 1968, that President Lyndon Johnson utilized brilliantly this national tragedy to urge for the bill's speedy congressional approval. Since the 1966 open housing marches in Chicago, Dr. King's name had been closely associated with the fair housing legislation. President Johnson viewed the act as a fitting memorial to the man's life's work and wished to have the act passed prior to Dr. King's funeral in Atlanta. In addition to the growing race tensions following the assassination of Dr. King, the controversial war in Vietnam was still raging on, the majority of injuries and deaths occurring to people of color. As these service members returned home to find housing or try to find housing, they were faced with harsh discrimination, could not purchase or even rent homes in certain residential developments, also known as redlining. The passing of this bill also led to the creation of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, of HUD as we know it today. Now in 2023, I am proud to say that both California and Kern County are committed to the mission of expanded access to housing for all people, and we will continue to ensure that every family has the right to the American dream. Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California has officially proclaimed April 2023 as Fair Housing Month in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes, signed by our Honorable Chairman, Jeff Flores, and now the floor is yours. So thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Chairman Flores and members of the board. Representing Bakersfield Association of Realtors and more than 2,500 members, we are honored to be here with you today in celebration of Fair Housing Month. Realtors here in Kern County and across the nation are committed to fighting against discrimination in the process of looking for a home and to promote fairness, integrity, and equal opportunity. Fair housing is an essential part of the real estate industry, and realtors are proud to play important roles shaping the future and building a thriving community and in our neighborhoods. Thank you for joining us and recognizing the value that diversity and inclusion bring to our growing community, and for this special recognition declaring April as Fair Housing Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's get, I want to give a shout out to Jean Radsick, who's here. And is, I think, the realtor on half the homes in Kern County. And so, you know, she's quite popular. But I know your commitment to the American dream for all people. I know that, I've seen it, I've witnessed it. And so I just want to give a shout out. You're here in your senior role. It's good to see you passing the baton in many regards to new faces. I think that's really cool. But it's nice to see you and welcome and here in Kern County. Let's get a picture. American dream. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next item is item 6. This is to proclaim April 23rd through 29, 2023 as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Kern County, and Supervisor Scrivener will be making the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion on proclamation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Members, cast your vote.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I believe I was supposed to present this to our district attorney's office and must have been called away. And so I'm going to go ahead and make the presentation. And I'll begin with, in 1981, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed the first National Crime Victims Week to enhance sensitivity to the rights of crime victims and recognize the professionals who support them. The theme for the 2023 National Crime Victims' Rights Week is Survivor Voices, Elevate, Engage, Effect Change. This year's theme calls upon communities to amplify the voices of survivors and create environments where survivors have the confidence that they will be heard, believed, and supported. Here in Kern County, we commit to elevating and engaging survivors to lift their voices, inform policy and practice, and thereby effect change. By engaging survivors, we ensure our responses and services to victims and survivors are credible, meaningful, and centered on their individual needs. Therefore, it's my pleasure, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, to officially proclaim April 23rd through 29th, 2023 as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Kern County. And this recognition has been entered into our official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chairman, Jeff Flores.
And, excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And Supervisor Scrivener, I know DA Cindy Zimmer was here because I spoke to her this morning. She must have been called away. But I know she was planning on talking about the Crime Victims March that will be coming up, and she wanted to give details about that. So if she's able to return, Mr. Chairman, maybe we can hear her words.
Absolutely.
Later this morning.
Yeah, or perhaps during our 2 o'clock if that would be appropriate. But thank you, Madam Clerk, we appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Scrivener. Okay, at this time, we'll move on to item 17, public presentations. This is a portion of the meeting that is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on the agenda but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification, make a referral to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct the staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name before making your presentation. Thank you. Come on up.
Good morning, Board. My name is Christopher Fain, C-H-R-I-S-T-O-P-H-E-R. Last name is Fain, F as in Frank, A-I-N. All right, good morning. My name is Chris. Like I said, I'm with Kern County Fire Department Dispatch Center. As you begin negotiations for the next MOUs, I ask that you please keep in mind how important the next round of raises will be for those serving Kern County, especially in our dispatch centers. We struggle with training and retention. The average fire dispatcher takes about 9 months of one-on-one training to be able to perform the majority of the tasks unassisted, and I'd hazard to say that most aren't completely comfortable with the job until about year 3. Fortunately, the board did grant an equity raise that helped us with retention of new hires, but current inflation mitigates its impacts. It's very difficult to convince people that they should learn all that is required, as well as work nights, weekends, holidays, and heavy mandatory overtime, when they can make similar pay in some fast food jobs with minimal training and not be responsible for life and death decisions. As a citizen and an employee, I ask the board to consider this when it comes to negotiations. Thank you for your time and your public service.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good morning, buenos dias. My name's Angie Esparza, A-N-G-E-E-E-S-P-A-R-Z-A. I am a Human Service Supervisor at the Lamont Office District. I've been with Kern County Department of Human Services for 22 years, and I am a proud member of SEIU 521. I want to comment on the retention crisis we have as the public service workers. People in our community depend on our services. We don't have enough staffing. They feel let down by us, the county. We see people every day who are in a position where they need our support more than ever. By not having staffing, we are letting them down, our community. To help resolve this staffing crisis, we need to encourage our employees to stay with the county so our community feels heard and cared for. We ask you to listen to our experience so we can assure our community receives the best of care from us, from you, our board. Board of Supervisors, we demand, we plead that this board invest in our county workforce and keep our community safe, healthy, and self-sufficient. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Esparza. Next speaker.
Good morning. My name is Christine Margoni, C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N-E-M-A-R-G-O-N-I. I've been an assessment technician with the assessor's office for about 4.5 years, and I'm represented by my union SEIU Local 521. I'd like to comment on the retention crisis that we have as public service workers. Short staffing in our office, it affects our office greatly as Kern County continues to build at an increased rate. That means there's an excessive workload for some employees depending on their area of assignment. As it continues year after year, it leads to stress and burnout. Low wages affect our office also. Employees don't stay for the long term. Many of the people that were present at the time when I started with this office are no longer employed. They have left to take higher paying jobs. Many employees that work in our office also have part-time jobs in order to be able to meet their expenses. The impact of our office on the community is great. The public depends on our services in order to have their billing generated in a timely manner. We also impact the county by creating revenue that contributes to the budget. I join my coworkers in insisting that the board invest in our county workers. We provide a valuable service to the community and the county. Thank you for your time and have a good day.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good morning, Chairman Flores, members of the board, and county staff. My name is Jake Sorensen, Jakesorенson. I work for the Kern County Rangers as a patrol officer at Buena Vista Lake and some of our county buildings. I'm here today to discuss the cost of living wage percentage and why the Kern County Rangers, along with all county employees, need a 6% raise instead of a 4% raise. As many of you know, the current inflation rate is at 6%. All we are asking for is to break even for the cost of living in today's world. In Kern County, we are the lowest paid police department, and that is what we are, a police department. We are peace officers that protect and serve the county parks, lakes, and buildings. We are not security officers who observe and report. We are peace officers who investigate crimes, pursue criminals, and protect our county parks, lakes, and buildings. We recently arrested an individual just outside these walls in the parking structure for indecent exposure. And just this past weekend, Hart Park Lake Mean Rangers made a drug bust near Panorama Park, which resulted in the apprehension of over 200 pills of sales of the deadly drug fentanyl that I'm sure that all of you are aware of and how it plagues our community. We have a homeless division unit that is proactive in the community and helping house the homeless, offering them resources and assistance. We are the only law enforcement agency in the Kern County that patrols the lakes like Lake Isabella, Buena Vista Lake, using vessels, providing enforcement and life-saving measures when someone calls 911. And yet, some of us qualify for government assistance at our current wages. Once again, I say this. We are not a security company that so many people believe. We recently received a compensation study comparing us to Bakersfield Park Rangers, a security department that makes $10 more than us starting, and a security company in Fresno that makes slightly less than our starting position as a patrol ranger officer. We are a police agency, and we should be looked at as such, just like the Kern County Sheriff's Department, Bakersfield Police Department, because we have the same powers of arrest while on duty serving Kern County. We are losing qualified officers as well in our department because of the low pay. We are not a big department, and when an officer who has immense training and experience leaves our department, it is detrimental to our department and the public at the parks, lakes, and buildings. So I leave you with this, Chairman Flores, members of the board. If you see one of our park rangers, please pull us aside and ask us about our day-to-day basis. We would love to talk to you about it, or better yet, schedule a ride along with us, and we would love to show you around on what we do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Sorensen. Appreciate you.
Good morning, members of the board and community members here. My name is Stephanie Ramirez. I'm here representing CIU 521, and I'm speaking on behalf of a coworker, and these are their words to you. Hello, I am with Kern County, and today I am reading a statement from one of my coworkers who was not able to be here today during the workday. We work so hard and care deeply about the community we serve. For this reason, we are here today asking your help to end this retention crisis in Kern County. Every day, we are losing good employees, which in turn is affecting our community. We deserve the best qualified candidates in these positions. Thank you so much for your time. We hope you make the decisions to help us keep our best people by ending this retention crisis. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Chairman and Supervisors. My name is Deon Duffy. It's D-E-O-N, Duffy, D-U-F-F-E-Y. I'm coming to you guys. I've been a behavior recovery specialist at Kern County for 5 years, and I'm represented by my union, SEIU, Local 521. I want to comment on the retention crisis we have as public service workers. Our county is serving as a training ground for employees. This affects our community because we cannot keep veteran and good people and employees in these positions. We can't retain our workers in my department, specifically mental health, crisis patients who depend on us to be stabilized in a timely manner. If we do not have the veteran expert staff on hand, we won't be able to discharge the patients into a high level of care or other services in a timely manner. Seasoned staff ensure that these patients get the right services, the right treatments, and that their crisis can be stopped before they are harmed to themselves or others. The county is paying travelers at a higher rate than Kern County community residents who do the job. We need management to prioritize permanent staff and invest instead in livable wages. My department is the only department with these retention challenges. Other departments like the Sheriff's Department, Child Support, the Park Rangers, as you just heard, DHS, Public Health, faces shortages that impact public that depend on us for food safety, mental health services that stay close to our families. I'd like to submit to the board over 500 signatures from my coworkers asking respectfully and demanding that the board invest in our county workforce that keeps our community safe, healthy, self-sufficient, and we look forward to working with this board to adjust these services that our taxpayers look for us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Duffy. Next speaker, please. If there are any more. Okay. Seeing that, Supervisor Scrivener.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. First of all, thank you for the comments from the folks that just spoke to us. I want to ask our CAO, Ryan Alsop, if he could make any comments. I noticed on our PM agenda we have nearly 10 agreements with various bargaining units that are set to be approved. And so can you comment at all on the status of the negotiations with the SEIU bargaining unit, which is not amongst those nearly 10 agreements?
Yes, sir. Chairman Flores, Supervisor Scrivener, board members, appreciate the comments from the employees that are here, all from SEIU. You know, we're aware, and your board is aware of the retention crisis that we have in this county. It is not shared equally across all the county business functions. There are certainly areas in the county and departments that you are aware of that have an acute problem. Others, not so much. It's a mix. But nonetheless, it exists, and you know, this is something that your board has been focused on and has prioritized. Yes, I mean, this afternoon, your board is considering 4% COLA that was offered. Every single bargaining unit in the county agreed to it right away, with the exception of SEIU, who asked us to go back to you and ask you to make it an official last, best, and final, and bring it back to them so that they can take it to their membership. That is the course and the route that they decided to do, and that is their prerogative. But that is why that they are not included in the action today. Otherwise, they would be. I do want to say that last year, or in 2021, your board provided a cost of living increase to every single employee of this county. Now, at that time in 2021, everybody got at least a 5.43% increase in their compensation. If anybody in the audience disagrees with that, please give your name to our human resources officer here, and we're happy to double check that and report back to your board the status of that inquiry. Everybody got at least 5.43%. Many people got more than that in our COLA that your board provided countywide. That came at great expense to the county. Tens of millions of dollars that your board invested in employees. It is expensive to do county-wide COLAs for our employees. So that's what you did in 2021. In addition to that, your board provided market-based equity adjustments to compensation for well over 2,000 employees of this county, the majority of which are SEIU employees. I can run down the list. The list includes classifications that were agreed to in the MOU that was agreed to with SEIU. Some of those equity adjustments were agreed to as a reopener, where we decided to discuss equity adjustments as part of a reopener. We delivered for 1,720 county employees in that reopener on equity adjustments. And then there's a slew of other 70 or 80 or so employees in various classifications that we did on our own and took to SEIU and asked them to approve, which they did. We had a gentleman, the first gentleman that spoke today does an important job, fire dispatch. With the COLA that was provided last year, with the COLA that's being provided this year, if that gentleman is anywhere in the 10-step system and do an additional 2%, plus equity adjustments that were given to that classification, all of that in just the last 2 years, the fire dispatch assistant position has been increased by 14%, fire dispatchers 1 and 2 by 20%, supervising fire dispatchers by 20%, sheriff dispatchers, assistants 14%, sheriff dispatchers 20%, senior sheriff dispatchers 20% in compensation increases approved by your board, delivered in just the last 2 years. There was also a human service supervisor that spoke. I believe that employee was the second person to speak. Again, another very important job for this county. That particular classification, there are 100 employees in that classification, including the COLAs, including equity adjustments done since 2021. That position compensation has increased 22% since 2021. You are investing in your employees. There are a slew of other human resources, human services positions, behavioral health positions, public works positions, code compliance positions. I will tell the gentleman from the Rangers, we appreciate what you do. I do get weekly activity reports on what the Rangers do, and you are definitely a value-added function of this county, and we are looking at the Rangers' positions. We're aware of the situation, and we've got some work to do, but I will tell you that you did receive at least a 5.43% increase last year in salary. And sir, if you are in the anywhere in the 10-step system, you will get a 6% increase in your salary in July. So you add that up, that's 11%, a little over 11% increase in your compensation. We have work to do, but we're working. We are on a better pathway than we have been. All of these things cost money. They take time because they have to be negotiated. Obviously, my voice is a little bit elevated because at times I don't get the tone of some folks. I think that your board has stepped up and provided some massive deliverables to particularly SEIU and their bargaining group. We continue to have work to do. We're pleased to bring this cost of living adjustment to your board this afternoon. Again, to be clear, for employees that are in the 10-step system that are due an automatic cost of living adjustment of 2%, we want to give you an additional 4%. That is 6% in July. Again, your board reformed compensation in this county historically a couple of years ago, changing the compensation system to alleviate the problem that we got into where we were not able to provide cost of living adjustments. Your board and this county it must be in a position to apply cost of living adjustments on a more regular basis for our employees. It is important. We are employee-centric. It's employees that make this county work, and we have to do a good job of making sure we're paying market-based wages and we're being competitive. That is the pathway we're on. Your board put us on that pathway, and I'm pleased with the deliverables that have been provided, particularly to the SEIU. I hope they vote to support this COLA because we'd like to give it to them. And I hope that provides a big picture overview of what's going on.
Mr. Alsop, thank you. I greatly appreciate your thoughtful answer, and it's clear that we have achieved agreements with every other bargaining unit, with the exception of SEIU, and I look forward to being able to reach an agreement with them as well. And once again, thank you for your comments, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your indulgence.
Oh, no, thank you, Supervisor Scribner. Thank you, Mr. Alsop, for that overview of where we've been and where we're going. Also, I'd like to echo some of the comments made, and Officer Sorensen, I respect the law enforcement function that the Rangers perform. It's vital to our county in our law enforcement toolkit. And I do talk to the officers. I talked to one yesterday about what he does on a daily basis and the challenges that he faces. And it's a special function, the parks function, the marine function, in terms of our lakes. And I see the reports too, what's coming in from Hart Park and from Panorama Park. And it's just absolutely valuable and critical what they're stopping and what they're citing on a weekly, monthly basis. And then even protecting this very building, like we said, in our public parking structure. That was, I believe, the second incident. And you made us a bit safer by getting that individual and arresting him. So I appreciate the work you do, and we're going to move forward together. Thank you. Moving to item number 18, board member announcements or reports. Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Public comment still. Next speaker.
Sorry. My name's Kern Bussard, Kren Bussard. I'm a legal secretary at Child Support, and I'm a constituent of District 3. This is going to go a whole different way. I would like to thank the Board of Supervisors, CAO Ryan Alsop, Chief Human Resources Officer Devin Brown, and his team for offering SEIU employees the 4% COLA and including it in your yearly budget. As per the bargaining agreement, which Mr. Alsop stated was a foundation for us to build off of, to help our employees, you offered more than you're obligated to. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bussard.
Right? It's so good.
Thank you. Any other speakers under public comment? Okay, thank you. Moving on to member comments or reports. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate that. This Saturday night, or last Saturday night, I had the incredible privilege and honor to share the stage with our CAO, Ryan Alsop. I was bummed to see you're not wearing your medal today, Ryan, but you're otherwise very appropriately, in your professional attire and representing Kern County brilliantly. I stated that night that I thought you were the best CAO that Kern County's ever had, and I absolutely believe that, and I say it proudly and loudly here to Kern County. Both Ryan and I were inducted into the Highland High Hall of Fame this last Saturday, and which is so cool, and it really, really was just an incredible evening to recognize teachers and coaches at Highland High that have invested into, obviously, us and so many others, Ryan, that we shared that stage with that are doing remarkable things, and so many that we don't have an opportunity to hear about, but that really were invested in and really created right there with the righteous hearts and souls of Highland High teachers and that apparatus. And so I really just want to let you know that that was an honor of a lifetime for me, Ryan. I'm sure it was for you too. Your speech was absolutely exceptional. You're a phenomenal public speaker. You really represented Kern County well. And I think we have a lot to feel good about and have an incredible sense of pride. At least Highland High thinks so. So thank you, Chairman, for that. I don't know if you want to say something, Ryan, you don't have to, but congratulations to you. And I do want to see you wearing your medal more. So thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to you both. Very, very, very deserved. Any other member comments? No? Okay. Okay, seeing none, no more items to consider in open session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session to consider the following items under County Administrative Office, item 61, under County Council, items 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
announcements that, well, reads like a greatest hits list of worldwide aviation records going back 70 years.